So here we've got some missing number multiplication questions, and we can solve these using mental methods. So first, something times 6 equals 420. We've got a missing number in our multiplication, which means we can use division to find our missing number. Now we know that 42 divided by 6 is 7, so 420 divided by 6 is 70, because if we have an end zero in the dividend, we need an end zero in the quotient. So 70 times 6 is 420. And we can see if we have one end zero in a multiplication question, we have one end zero in the answer. Now, something times 300 equals 2,700. Again, it's a missing number multiplication, so we need to use division to find the missing number. Now we know that 27 divided by 3 is 9. That means 2,700 divided by 300 is also 9, because we can cancel our two end zeros, and then we get 27 divided by 3. So 9 times 300 is 2,700. And you can see that this works because 9 times 3 is 27, and then if we have two end zeros in a multiplication question, we need two end zeros in the answer. Now this next problem here isn't really a missing number problem, because there's no missing numbers in the multiplication. Instead, the only thing that's different is that we have the equal sign at the start rather than the end of our question. But it doesn't matter whether the equal sign is at the start or at the end, we do the same thing. 8 times 5 is 40, so 8 times 50 is 400, because if there's one end zero in the question, after 8 times 5 is 40, there will be one end zero in the answer. Now something times 90 equals 450. We know that 45 divided by 9 is 5, so 450 divided by 90 is also 5, because we can cancel our end zeros, and then we just have 45 divided by 9. So 5 times 90 is 450, because 5 times 9 is 45, and if there's one end zero in the question, there will be one end zero in the answer. Now 6 times what is 1,800? Well, 18 divided by 6 is 3, which means that 1,800 divided by 6 is 300, because 18 divided by 6 is 3, but then if there's two end zeros in the dividend, there will be two end zeros in the quotient. So 6 times 300 is 1,800. And you can see that because 6 times 3 is 18, but then if there's two end zeros in the multiplication question, there will be two end zeros in the answer. Now something equals 8 times 800. So this isn't really a missing number problem. This is similar to this problem above. It doesn't matter whether the equal sign is at the start or at the end, we do the same thing. 8 times 8 is 64, so 8 times 800 is 6,400, because if we have two end zeros in the question, we need two end zeros in the answer. Now 40 times what is 1600. It's a missing number multiplication, so we can use division to find our answer. We know that 16 divided by 4 is 4, so 1600 divided by 40 is 40. That's because we can cancel the 0 on the end, and so that gives us 160 divided by 4. Now 16 divided by 4 is 4, but then we still have this end 0 in our dividend, so we need an end 0 in our answer. So 40 times 40 is 1600. And you can see that that works because 4 times 4 is 16, but then we have a total of 2 zeros in our multiplication question, so we need 2 zeros in our answer. What times 70 equals 28,000? Well, 28 divided by 7 is 4, and that will help us work out 28,000 divided by 70. Our answer is 400 because we can cancel the 0 on the end, so then we have 2,800 divided by 7. 28 divided by 7 is 4, but there's still 2 end zeros in the dividend, so we need 2 end zeros in the answer. So 400 times 70 is 28,000. And you can see this works because 4 times 7 is 28, but here we have a total of 3 end zeros in our multiplication question, so we need 3 end zeros in our answer. 300 times what is 180,000? Well, 18 divided by 3 is 6, so 180,000 divided by 300 is 600. That's because we can cancel 2 end zeros, so then we have 1,800 divided by 3. Now 18 divided by 3 is 6, but then there's still 2 end zeros in the dividend, so we need 2 end zeros in the answer. So 300 times 600 is 180,000. That's because 3 times 6 is 18, but in our multiplication question, we have a total of 4 end zeros, so we need 4 end zeros in our answer. What times 800 is 32,000? Well, 32 divided by 8 is 4, and that fact helps us to work out 32,000 divided by 800. Our answer is 40 because we can cancel 2 of the end zeros, so then we have 320 divided by 8. Now 32 divided by 8 is 4, but then we still have 1 end zero in the dividend, so we need 1 end zero in the answer. So 40 times 800 is 32,000, and we can see that this works because 4 times 8 is 32, but then we have a total of 3 end zeros in the question, so there are 3 end zeros in the answer.